Hello everyone, it's your girl Adrian from the Rant Fangirl channel. I figured since I got some free time, I might as well just go ahead and upload another Degrassi video from my series called Couples I Cannot Stand. Yeah! Yes. So, because I will be making my rant video about Degrassi not doing important storylines slash the double standards you fans hold against some of y'all favorites tomorrow, because I have a lot to say with these couple videos. I can rant for like a couple of minutes and it won't be that long, but for that video I have a lot of shit I want to say, so let's get into it. My next couple on my list for Degrassi couples I cannot stand is no other Trials, which is Miles and Tristan. I literally cannot stand this shit. I don't get the hype some fans like about Miles and Tristan. I necessarily don't get it. I just don't like their relationship. Their relationship was too, it was just up and down, up and down. It was like a tornado. It was like rain. It was like whirlwind. It was just everywhere. Titter totter. Is they gonna be in game? Are they not gonna be in game? It was just too much. I think it's because I think the main issue I have with Miles and Tristan relationship is because it kind of happened out of nowhere. I mean, some people are gonna say, "Oh, that moment when Tristan kissed him in Paris, they kind of teased it." No, in that moment, they kind of teased a love triangle. Cause I thought that's what they were gonna do. I thought they were gonna do a love triangle between Miles, Tristan, and Maya because they both liked it the same guy. Maya my liked it Miles. Excuse me. She just didn't say it until she kind of admitted it when she put how Tristan feel about him out there, and when she tried to pour water on him and Zoe when they were kissing. So she obviously was jealous of the PDA. So I feel like they were going to do a love triangle between the three of them, but they didn't. I actually liked it better when Miles and Tristan were just friends, because I liked it them getting rid of that stigma that straight guys shouldn't be friends with gay guys because that make them gay. Like, I didn't have a problem with Miles being bi. Because I always kind of loved the way they wrote that storyline. Like, Miles likes what he likes. Fuck titles, fuck the tags, fuck hashtags, fuck all of that. He liked what he liked. Period. I just think him and Tristan would have been better off as friends. I feel like, and this is an unpopular opinion, I feel like, let me just say this before I get into why I can't stand this relationship, because I have a lot of shit I gotta say. But I feel like if you wanted Miles to be bi, I feel like the only person I really could have seen him being bi with is Winston. And I said that because Miles and Winston hung out a lot. And I feel like Winston never succeeded in any relationship he was in when it was with a girl. Never. They didn't last long. They was always breaking up. Like, I feel like had they not have Winston, if they didn't put Winston with Frankie, I would have been okay with Winston and Miles being a couple, because it would have been cute since they know each other from childhood and they've been best friends. The friendship is there, and there's also a love connection building. Miles and Winston as a relationship, they would have been something new, something fresh. I would have fucked with that. I would have fucked with Miles and Winston being a couple. But to just have Miles kiss Tristan in the middle of a game at the end of season 13, it just felt kind of like out of nowhere, because they didn't tease it and they just put Miles right back into another relationship after he just broke up with Maya. So to me, it definitely felt like something just kind of happened out of nowhere. And I always said that. I have the same attitude I had back then when I first saw the shit. I think like that kind of just happened kind of like out of nowhere. Like a lot of the Degrassi couples in that newer generation, all those couples sometimes kind of happen out of nowhere. But that's a rant for another day. I just feel like Miles and Tristan relationship kind of happened out of nowhere. Like it just kind of happened out of nowhere, and I feel like I can't stay in a relationship because it's always up and down. Their relationship do have drama, but I always feel like when Miles and Tristan, it was either they're gonna make this work or give it the fuck up. Because I honestly, truthfully feel like the first season they were together and as a couple, they didn't do anything. They had no storylines, no depth, no nothing. Because the Grassy writers in season 14, their writing was so condescending. Okay, so let me get this straight. Miles liked what he was doing with Tristan, the kissing and all that. He was okay with it. But when it came out to his family that he was, bisexual, and his dad knew about it, they had him smoking weed. They had him smoking weed, and then they tried to they wrote two different storylines on why he was smoking weed. One was because the relationship with Tristan. He felt like his relationship with Tristan was like, I guess they were trying to say was isolating him to not be able to hang out with his friends, him getting like kicked out of certain stuff to do. Him and his dad are in the worst, or like in a really rocky place more now than ever because he's dating a guy. And then they wrote it in another different way, like, oh, he's smoking weed because he can't tell anybody what's happening at home. Which is it? It makes no sense for the Degrassi writers to be like, he really wanted that relationship with Tristan to work, then to just smoke weed, push him away, isolate himself to where he ain't really fucking with Tristan like that. And then Tristan really should let my nigga walk when at the end in that episode when he dogged him like that. I mean, it's not like Miles wasn't right because he was, but it's like Miles was very manipulative. He was very, very manipulative, and he was very like emotionally and verbally abusive towards Tristan. Like he said things that he knew would hurt Tristan. He did things that he knew would hurt Tristan. This toxic ass titter-totter back and forth relationship should not be romanticized. But for some fucking reason, it is. Why on earth would I want Tristan with a guy who literally talks trash about him, manipulates him, tell him things he wants to hear just to turn around and hurt him, and then try to make up excuses for his fucking actions? Do y'all know in Tristan and Miles' entire relationship, Miles never ever once apologized to none of the fuck shit he did to Tristan? None of the fuck shit. And then they wonder why they always had issues. Because you just hopping back into another relationship. You're just hopping in this relationship with this nigga who you didn't tell, who hurt you in the past, did fuck shit. You're not letting him apologize. Y'all not talking about nothing. Like, they should have been talking about way more shit than just sex. Like, that doesn't matter. We're going to always talk about whether we're not ready to have sex. Let's get down to the business about how you thought it was cool for you to run game on me. How you thought it was cool to basically say fuck me when you caught feelings for another bitch. Like, I want to talk about that. Like, bitch, you owe me, like, come on now. And then Tristan wondered why him and Miles always had problems. Because Tristan let a lot of shit slide. He was okay with too much shit. He said no boundaries. He just was okay with Miles running game on him. And I hated that. Once you get to a place where your partner feel like they could really run game on you and disrespect you and do shit because you let it slide because you never open up your motherfucking mouth, off top, it's a bad relationship to me. And that's why Miles and Tristan's relationship to me is toxic, because Miles got away with so much shit. Like, from the moment him and Tristan got together, he's done nothing but do that nigga dirty. Done nothing. Done nothing. Done nothing. Done nothing. Done nothing. Done nothing. But done him dirty. Period. And never ever took any accountability for anything he said, anything he did, messing with his brain, manipulating him. He never apologized for none of that. None of it. And Tristan let him get away with it. Tristan let him get away with this shit. So it's like, how can I feel bad for somebody who just let their partner hurt them and just be like, yeah, I'm okay with it. Like in the episode of season 14 when they did the Tristan and Winston, Hunter and Frankie and them was all checking Miles about him smoking weed and how him smoking weed that made him isolate himself. He irritated, he irritable. He don't want to be around nobody. And you know, Miles was telling Tristan that he thought he could, like, you know, open up to him and be honest with him about shit. But Miles didn't even tell Tristan what he had going on. Miles didn't show up for school for a project that they were supposed to do together, and Tristan saw him smoking weed. And then his big mouth ass ran off and told Winston and Frankie that he got a problem, a weed problem. I just feel like if you wanted him to have an addiction, you could have did a real fucking drug. Smoking weed is not a big fucking deal. He is not hurting himself for smoking weed. He letting go some stress. Like, smoking weed is not bad. I see if y'all would have did an intervention of him sticking heroin down his arm, or if he was swallowing some pills. But my nigga's literally chilling in the pool smoking his joint. My nigga wasn't doing nothing evil. Like, Tristan ran his mouth and told them something before he even asked my nigga Miles what was going on. So when they wrote that scene when Miles was like, I thought you could understand, it's like, Miles, have him understand what? You didn't even tell him what the fuck was going on. You know what's so crazy? The actor who played Miles, Eric Osborne, is a Pisces. And I see a lot of some of the traits I have in Miles, and it may be one of the reasons why I like really have a connection with him. He kind of isolate himself when he going through shit, and I kind of do the same thing. Like, I'm kind of in my head a lot, and he is in that. And I feel like in season 14, he was in his head a lot. He feel like he couldn't tell nobody shit. He didn't know who to trust. He didn't know if he told somebody something, who would they tell this person? Would they tell that person? So I feel like that's what led him to smoke weed. But they act like he was popping pills or sticking something in his arm. He was just smoking weed. It's not a big deal. What pisses me off is that Tristan ran his motherfucking mouth before he knew anything. Before he even knew what the fuck was going on, he instantly just ran and said something. Like, why the fuck did you tell Winston and Frankie, oh, he got a problem. It's a weed problem. What are we going to do about this? Talk about we need to run an intervention. Damn, an intervention? My nigga was just smoking weed. It ain't like you saw him stick something in his arm. Like, they was making a way big deal out of it. But Tristan should have been done with Miles' ass when he dogged him the way he did. Like, literally read him and ate him the fuck up. And you know what's so crazy, though? Even though what he said was wrong, it's not like he wasn't right, because he was. Tristan was insecure, desperate, bitchy, dealing with a lot of insecurities, projecting them onto other people, projecting them on Maya, projecting them on Miles, projecting them on anybody to make them feel like it's always their fault why he feel bad. And I feel like when it comes to Miles, 9 out of 10, the reason why they was always getting into some shit is because of Miles' fault. Tristan said something and Miles would do something like, oh, I'm finna sleep with somebody else, I'm finna kiss somebody else. He always did something that was action-wise. Tristan sometimes did have a way where he was a little judgmental of Miles. He made fun of him being bi, made fun of him not knowing if he liked the boys or girls. Tristan sometimes did have a smart mouth, and I feel like Miles didn't like that shit. As a water sign, I don't like judgmental people, and Miles didn't like that shit either. So baby, if you're gonna judge me, you get the fuck out of my face, cause you ain't walking in my shoes, so bitch, you ain't got no right to judge me, ho. And I feel like when Miles told Tristan that you are so desperate, like he said, I treat you like absolute crap and you keep coming back for more. Why? Are you really that desperate for somebody to love you? And I was like, yes, because Tristan is like another Manny, just in a guy's body. He's so desperate for love and admiration, he would literally go to the worst of the worst just to get it. Like, are you really okay with Miles hurting you as long as you and him are together? Like, where the fuck is your morals and your self-worth? You just gonna let that nigga talk to you? And then the next episode when he broke up with him, he apologized to him. Apologized to what? Nigga, he dogged you. He hurt your feelings. He manipulated you. The fuck? Why are you apologizing to him? I'm the one who owed a motherfucking apology. I don't give a fuck what he said in the heat of the moment, whether you was drunk or not, high or not. Bitch, you owe me a motherfucking apology. You literally dogged me and exposed my insecurities to everyone in that room. You made me look stupid for thinking me being with you is like such a huge thing. But honestly, that's how you really think of me. You think I'm an insecure, desperate person looking for love. Yet you all up on this person though. So I just found it weird that Tristan was apologizing to him. And I hated that the writers didn't have Tristan be there for Miles in his darkest moments. Maya was there and he ended up falling back in love with her. Regardless of what Miles said, Tristan should have still showed the fuck up to show him, to prove to him wrong that he can count on you. He can trust you. He know you're gonna be there when he needs it. The fuck, to have the writers just put Maya right there for him to fall back in love with her again. They made her look like the bad guy, so Tristan can have a reason to blame her again for his fucking insecurities. Like, they made her look like the bad guy. I feel like Tristan is stupid. Because if he would have looked at the whole situation from the beginning, back when him and Miles was fooling around, all of that was payback because Maya broke up with Miles. Like, all of it was payback. I mean, think about it, y'all. He literally just broke, like, him and Maya literally just broke up. And the Thunderstruck episodes, they literally just broke up. And he all kissing and hugging all over Tristan. Nigga, you ain't even over her, because if you was, it wouldn't have been that easy for you to fall back in love with her again while she was there for you as a friend. You just would have been okay with her being there for you as a friend. But nigga, you fell back in love with her because y'all was hanging out. She was there for you, making sure you was okay, and everything, picking you up while you was down. Meaning you weren't really over her for because you just hopped back in the next relationship that you could to get over her. And then he in the hallway smiling and looking at her in the hallway and shit like that. Tristan saw it, and I feel like it was, I mean, Winston wasn't wrong when he told Tristan, like, if Miles want to be with you, he'll be with you. If not, you're better off alone. And it's like, is Winston really even this nigga friend? Because I feel like regardless if we friends or not, don't be talking shit behind my back and make it seem like I'm a bad person. I don't think Miles was a bad person in relationships. He was really terrible. I feel like the only person he was really good to and when it came to that was Lola, and they weren't even dating. Well, kind of iffy, because I feel like he used her. I feel like he used her for sex to get over what he was feeling in the darkness when it came to Tristan, and then when he was done with her, he tossed her ass to the side. But I honestly do feel like he did care. I do think he cared and felt some kind of love towards her. They did have a true, genuine connection. But as far as him being terrible, he is kind of terrible in all his relationships. It's like he very manipulative, and I don't know how to explain it, but when it comes to relationships, he's just really terrible. It's like he don't know how to balance them as much. But Miles is one of my favorite characters. I love Miles. He had some really good character development. And on top of that, I really see a lot of myself in Miles. Like, I really do. Some of these characters that I really hold up to, like, a standard are mainly because I personally can connect with them. But don't mean the shit that they do was right. Because I hold everybody accountable for all they fuck shit. Everyone. Everybody. So, I feel like Tristan should have been done with Miles' ass. And then when he got a nigga that speech the way he did, when he was like, you are a horrible person, you use and abuse people, and one day you're gonna have nobody. I'm thinking, like, where the fuck is that Tristan at? And there's in them other seasons, standing the fuck up and letting that nigga Miles know you are no longer gonna get away with no fuck shit. Nope. Next class, he all googly eye and all this other bullshit. Let my nigga get away with more fuck shit. It's just stupid. And then Miles cheated on this nigga while he was in a coma. Like, how more awful can you get? And then they broke up because Miles didn't want to be his fucking, I forgot what they call it. I forgot what they call it, because I worked at a job. I worked at assisted living. I forgot what they call it with the nurses and shit like that. But he didn't want to be like he didn't want to be Tristan's nurse or whatever. So I just feel like they did all of that from next generation to next class to make them be one of those top ships, one of those end games relationships to not even last. I mean, their whole relationship is toxic. I don't understand. Like when I was younger, I liked them. Now that I'm older, I fucking despise it. I feel like you could have put Miles with a real genuine person for him to have a good, healthy relationship, for him to be by. Like you could have put him with someone who's going to teach him something, bring out the best in him. Because I feel like Tristan kind of liked that toxic shit. Because if he didn't, why the fuck did he always go back to Miles? It just didn't make sense. There's a ton of other guys who are bi, gay, who are willing to treat you right, yet you want to stick by someone who constantly lies, cheat, and manipulate and hurt you. For what? That makes no sense. Like, are you really that desperate? Ugh. I fucking hate this relationship. I would never ever grow to like it. I would never ever fuck with it. Period. Miles and Tristan are one of the worst relationships on Degrassi, and yet they want to romanticize it and think it's a fairy tale when honestly it's really none of that. I'm Asia and this is my rant. Like I said, this is part 2 of Degrassi couples I cannot stand. I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow for my rant. Peace.